Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your favorite paranormal investigator. My name's Tim Sedano, and today on the show we have the incomparable, the one, the only, the man from across the pond who is the paranormal poobah. That is Mr. Tommy Cullum. Tommy, welcome to the show.
How are you, my brother? What an intro. Thank you, man.
Not at all. Off the top of my head, too.
I'm so excited to be here, man. Thank you so much for having me back on, brother.
Oh, it's been too long. We should do this weekly.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm up for it, man. I'm
really? Okay, I might take you up on that.
Absolutely. Always, man. Okay. Anytime. I love having these conversations. I know we're going to get freaky tonight, and yes, I love getting freaky. Having these conversations, I can do it all the time. I love it.
Fantastic. Tommy, before we get jump into our freaky conversations, why don't I give you the floor and you tell everyone a little bit about yourself and your show?
Yeah, well, thank you very much, man. So my show is called Let's Get Freaky, and it's a paranormal podcast, supernatural podcast, a little bit conspiracy as well. We talk paranormal, ghosts, cryptids, UFOs, as I say, conspiracies. And I have awesome guests on like Tim, which come on, share their experiences or their theories on all aspects of high strangeness. And I've had a lot of paranormal experiences myself. So I would say I know this stuff is real. I know there's things going on around us that we can't always see. And sometimes we get a glimpse of. And it just fascinates me. It's blown my mind. I grew up in a haunted house when I was very young, so this has always been a part of my life. So I want the answers. I don't know if we're going to get the answers, but I want the answers. The more people we talk to, the better.
Oh yeah, I hear you there. I had Jen and Mondo on from 305 Paranormal last week.
They're awesome. They're
fantastic awesome people. They spoke very highly of you, by the way.
And thank you, man.
You and David. All that fun stuff.
David's a legend.
Down the rabbit hole. Dropping names and stuff like that, but that's okay. We're here to support our friends.
There's so many amazing people in this sphere that we're in.
Yeah,
it is amazing.
There really are. There was a they were talking about their experiences, how they got together and all that fun stuff. So they were telling us that, and one of the things that kind of came up was how especially Mondo was the absolute skeptic until it happened to him. And you and I have very different experiences. You and I both at a young age saw, yours is amazing because you call him Shakespeare. He was in your room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Forever. Yeah. And your mom was there. She put her hand through him, That was fantastic. And then there's me with the stewardess who showed up and screamed at me without a voice.
That was wild. Yeah.
That was nuts.
Terrifying, man.
Yeah, it was. I ran through her to get to my mom. Yeah.
And this stuff, I mean, when you have these experiences, I think it opens you up. I think that's why when you have these experiences as a kid and kind of accept it, mm-hmm. and for you, it's undeniable. So I think that's why you continue to have experiences as you get older. Because, you meet people that have never experienced anything, which is quite strange. There are some people out there that say they've not had any paranormal experience, even though often they have. But that's another story. But then you get people that seem to experience quite a lot. And I think, I often wonder why that is, why certain people seem to experience. And I think it's literally just being open to it and believing it.
Well, they say when you're a little kid, like you and I were, you're wide open. I mean, you don't have a choice.
Yeah,
you get all this input from various dimensions, if you will, frequencies, what have you. And you just know it. You accept it. I mean, there's the really scary version where they're not ghosts. I think we may have touched on this last time you were on. There's that story I think it's out of LA, Los Angeles. And there's a family, they had been in this apartment or whatever it was for a while. And it was it was an older facility, older housing unit, but they kind of, made it a little more modern and stuff like that, new coat of paint, that type of thing, just spruced it up a little bit. But what they didn't change was the ventilation. So the little, the mom, this young mother is taking care of her kid, and the little boy is like 3, maybe 4, talking to their imaginary friend. And then, so as parents do, you kind of watch them from the corner once in a while. And when he hands the imaginary friend a snack, his snack, like a Fig Newton or something like that, a little hand reaches in the vent and grabs it and takes it back.
Whoa.
And it was not a human hand. It had like 3 or 4 fingers, including the thumb, and they were kind of clawed, but it was small, And
Yeah.
so there's the other side of all that stuff too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right there. So
absolutely, man. And what is
so
that?
she freaked out. She grabs the little boy and says, "Well, who was that?" "Who's that's my friend, it's my buddy." And apparently he's been talking to this thing for months, and they built a rapport, and he shares his little snacks with him once in a while. So
wild.
yeah. And I think later on, it came back. It like tested the waters a little bit, and it came back. And this time, she had the presence of mind to get her cell phone out. And lo and behold, you see it's super shadowy. It's an old flip phone, so it's like very grainy video. But she caught it on video, and this little thing goes scampers away as soon as she sees the mom. But it was a creature, man, and it had a tail. It looked almost reptilian.
Wow. And how big was it, would you say, roughly?
About the size of I don't know, your average 4-year-old, give or take. But this thing was able to navigate the ventilation system.
That is wild.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Ooh, man. There's so much.
Say again.
There's so much. There's so much to this.
It's amazing. And it actually
paranormal wild world.
Oh, I know, and it kind of relates to something else in that neck of the woods down in Los Angeles, where back in like the 20s or something, there was, and it was acknowledged and then very quickly covered up, that there were tunnels underneath LA. And there was an exploration, and it was on the front page, no problem. No censorship whatsoever. Yeah, I'm going to go investigate these tunnels that are under LA, and this one explorer says with his team, and he got funding for it and everything. And we're going to also investigate the rumor of the lizard people. The lizard people.
Man, yeah. Well, yeah.
So.
These things seem to be everywhere. They seem to be among us.
Uh-huh.
It sounds wild to people that don't look into this stuff, but it's out there, man. So many people experience this.
Oh, I know. And there was something like, long about 15, maybe even 20 years ago, that cropped up, and it was on one of those shows you kind of have to dismiss. It's like, the paranormal caught on camera kind of a deal, but it wasn't that show. It was a different show, a predecessor. Mm-hmm. And these guys are trudging along, and they hear this, weird sound in the gutters beneath them, and I think they had just installed the subway there, reinstalled the subway. So there were these big grates, and they point their little cell phone down, and this huge thing, I mean, 8-foot long looking lizard dude goes brrr, looks at him, and then skitters on.
Whoa.
It was quick. It was, again, not the best resolution, but it. Yeah, and this is way before AI and CG were even readily available to the public.
Now a video like that, you're just going to pass off as AI.
You're going to have to at least take a few looks at it. Yeah.
Those days are, I mean, I remember seeing videos like that 5-10 years ago, and you'd be like, that's real. You know, there's no doubt in your mind. Obviously, there was some fake stuff. But I can tell you, one of my friends that I used to work with, and I won't say his name because I've not got permission to share this story.
Okay.
But I'm gonna share it though, and I've shared it before. Names
have been changed to protect.
Names have been changed. So I used to work with this guy back when I used to work in a steel firm in London. I used to work for a steel firm, and I started working with this new guy that started working with us. And this is before I started Let's Get Freaky, or even really thought about doing I might have been thinking about doing a podcast, but I'd not started doing a podcast. I did listen to other shows and stuff, so I was very aware of these topics. So I must have brought it up, or he brought it up, I don't know, but I can't remember who actually started the conversation. But we got into the weird and wonderful world that we live in, and he started telling me some of his paranormal experiences. And he told me this experience. He's like, and I'd only known this guy for like a day or two. We'd only just started working together. So, you know, he's brave to share this story with me. But he was like, I'm going to tell you, this is wild, man. But he was on the London Underground, right? And he said we must have started talking about reptilians and stuff like that. Maybe we was talking about the royal family or something. I don't know what. But we're having this conversation. And he said, I was on the London Underground. And I'm sitting there, and I think he was quite busy on the. There was a few people on the train, and he said there's this dude sitting opposite him that was just very strange. You know, he just got this weird feeling about this guy sitting opposite him. He was like looking at him funny, and this guy just gave him a weird vibe. So anyway, he said he's sort of trying not to look at this dude, but sort of looking every now and again because he was just getting this feeling. And he said he's looking at this guy, and this guy's like looking back at him. And all of a sudden, his eyes just went from like human eyes to like reptilian eyes, like for a few seconds.
Oh.
And he said he was like,
yeah.
And I think he got off at the next stop, you know, got well away from this dude. But he was like, that happened, man. I saw that whatever it was shift in front of me. And I remember being at the time like, wow, that's incredible. I mean, I didn't know him very well, and obviously we've not stayed in touch since work. But I put his story out there now. But that's an old friend's story.
That's incredible. So that's been caught on video and film before.
Absolutely.
And I don't mean narrative films. I mean like the newsreel kind of video, you know?
Yeah.
And
politicians.
Politicians. A lot of people in power. They've been caught. Their eyes shifting like that.
Yeah, absolutely. Teeth. Sometimes teeth change and stuff.
Yeah, teeth change. There was it Hillary Clinton that had the tongue go into the water?
Oh yeah, she's definitely a reptilian. 100%.
By the way, I love my life and I am not suicidal.
Yeah. Same. Ditto. My mum as well, because I think I think there's possibly aliens among us. I'm just going to say, I think it seems to be.
I'm curious to take a look at these. They just released today. The U.S. just dumped a bunch of UFO and alien files. I have not had a chance to see them. I know they're being talked about already, but they're some of the videos I've seen, some of the stuff I've already seen. I think they dumped that first. And then now there's PDF documents and stuff, and I haven't seen them per se, but I was curious to know if they're like completely blacked out on this date, blackout, or if they're actually, completely declassified and we can see what's going on. Have you seen the documents?
I've seen bits of it. I've seen bits on social media, which, as you know, you can't always trust exactly what you're seeing on social media. So I haven't actually gone on the official website yet to check it out, which I need to do. But what I've seen so far is pretty wild. I mean, a lot of it we've kind of seen already, I would say. We've seen very similar videos already. Yeah. Guys like us, we know this stuff is already out there. We've had experiences ourselves. Yeah. I've seen weird things in the sky that I can't explain. So I know there's stuff out there. I've seen it. But it's very strange that now it's coming out. That's the weird thing. That's always the thing that makes us go, why now? And obviously the world's pretty crazy right now. There's a lot going on.
You got to wonder if it's a distraction.
It feels like that.
It does. I'm still curious to see what they got to say. So I'll be diving into that this coming week.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
there was also something kind of related to that, almost a precursor that started populating the web like even a couple of days ago, where at least here in the U.S., all these, and I don't know if now that was my question actually, if this happened in the UK as well, where a lot of pastors and priests and everyone associated with or affiliated with one type of Christian church or another, not even just Christian churches, but holy whatever churches in general. I mean, pick a religion. The government sits them all down and says, okay, we're going to be releasing some stuff and you may have to answer a few weird questions because you're going to, there will be some questions brought about because, the idea of God being the creator of us is going to be challenged. So it's like, oh, that's heavy duty.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's really heavy duty. And then there was something about July 11th, which I just blanked on.
What, this coming this year? We got something coming this year.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did you hear about that, July 11th? Oh,
I know the Steven Spielberg film's coming out in June, July.
Yeah. Maybe
and because they're saying there's something weird going on with that as well. It's like a disclosure movie where these, and we know that sometimes they have to tell us stuff in film, for the conspiracy people. We know that some of the stuff that we are shown in films is like a precursor to what's coming. And that's what some people are saying in the conspiracy world. And I think the 11th I might be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure that was when Trump said he was going to speak out about some of this stuff. But evidently stuff's come out today, so I don't know, that might be wrong. So
could be a precursor, who knows?
Yeah.
Or not the opposite of a precursor.
But it's weird though, because I don't watch the news too much, to be honest. I actually probably watch more US news than I do UK news. Our news is pretty much the same anyway. Trump is on telly every day in the UK anyway, so our news is the same. But there's not been too much. And we have just had general elections in the UK. As we record this, there's just been general elections. So that's kind of taken the newsreel for the last few days, week or so. But there's not been that much on the news. Like, I told someone today at work, I was like, have you seen this alien disclosure that's come out today? And he was like, what? What are you talking about? Didn't know nothing about it and wasn't even particularly bothered by it. And that is what I find very strange.
Yeah. It's like a desensitization. Oh my God, I can't tell you. We're being desensitized.
I'm not even going to try and say that word because I won't be able to say it.
Yeah, but we've been desensitized to the whole alien thing for decades.
Yes.
I mean, ever since the movie that really got me, I mean, especially as a kid, was Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Mm-hmm.
And that is apparently now, and I think that's what part of Disclosure is about. The rumor is this. Okay, we're drifting to conspiracy theory here, but the rumor is that in part Disclosure is actually going to focus on that film a little bit because Alan Hynek was the advisor on that, and he said, well, if the aliens look like this is what we were told, and maybe we saw it too, maybe we didn't, that kind of thing. But apparently that's an actual event that happened at one point or another, not in Wyoming necessarily, but Close Encounters of the Third Kind was an actual event.
Wow. Okay.
Somewhere in the U.S. or at least in the world somewhere.
Interesting.
I think it was in the U.S. somewhere super remote, and they didn't have the whole gassing the livestock and everything to make it look like a gas leak was. That was part of the fiction. I don't think they actually did that. And if they did, they hit it real well because I did some research. I didn't find it in the newspapers anywhere. But, or the news archives, I guess I should say. But it's fascinating that, if you take a look at, and it rings true with a lot of abduction stories where they all get the same message across the globe. And that's kind of what they dealt with. They built a narrative around it, but the final event where all the ships come around and the big mothership comes in and lands, I don't know if it looked like that at all, but Yeah, apparently that was very close to what's his name? Oh, the president who went missing for 2 weeks. Oh my God, Truman, Eisenhower, one of
Hmm.
those two.
Hmm. Yeah.
So apparently that's his actual story. What happened?
Interesting, man. It is.
Again,
We got
that's
some
just
wild
conspiracy.
times coming. We got some wild times coming. That is for sure. The,
Yeah.
the thing is, I used to watch like we all did. That's into this kind of stuff. I used to watch documentaries about UFOs 10, 15 years ago, and they a lot of them said that they would drip feed information very slowly, but almost to the point where when it does happen, it's not as shocking as we think it should be for
Right.
your average person. And I think that's kind of happened, man. I really do. I feel like
Yeah.
because people that are not into this kind of stuff are not really bothered by it, and I find that weird. That because you
Yeah.
should be, you should be
Whereas,
bothered.
where even 40 years ago, they would have, it was like, really? That scares me. I don't want to do that. I'm moving to the
Yeah,
hills.
yeah,
I can't get a
absolutely,
cabin. I don't want to
absolutely.
experience this. But, yeah.
I
Yeah, yeah,
find it
yeah.
weird that it's literally come out today, and there's literally people out there that don't even know that that's come out. I
They
find that.
don't know and they don't care, just kind of telling in a, like you were saying. So, and I think it has something to do with all this predictive programming. I mean, we've been saturated with it ever
Hmm.
since movies like Close Encounter of the Third Kind. Because
Hmm.
right after that, it was Hangar 18. Right after that, it was, oh gosh, I'm drawing a
ET,
blank. Hmm?
ET.
Oh, well, no, ET was there
Oh,
for sure,
okay.
but I was thinking of V.
Hmm.
Remember V? That was
Yeah.
1980. And then 84, I think 84 was ET. And, but yeah, just, and then all the way through to, well, Alien, Terminator. Terminator's
Yeah.
kind of not really one, but, although that does kind of tackle the AI fear to a degree.
Yes. Yes. That's quite scary. That's another.
Yeah.
That's another. This is all
Well,
happening at the same time as AI.
part one of the other conspiracy theories out there is we've actually deployed some robot soldiers to the current war, like humanoid looking, full on Terminator like soldiers out there. I'm sorry, that might be in the Ukraine theater,
Hmm.
but
Okay.
okay, I
It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, you've got these dogs, these like robotic dogs chasing people down
headless
the street.
robotic dogs. Yeah, that's messed up.
Oh,
Boston
we're
Dynamics
screwed.
makes great robots, but that's the one that freaks me out the most.
We're so screwed.
Have you seen the videos that show you if you need to take out a robot dog?
Yeah.
Have you seen those videos? It's fantastic.
Oh,
If you have a weapon, aim for the battery casing. If you don't have a weapon, wait for it to pass you by, tackle it, pop open the belly where the battery casing is, and pull out the battery.
bro,
It's like,
bro, what is coming? What is coming?
oh man.
Ah, it's wild. It's gonna get wild. I mean, it's already getting wild. We're living in a time where like it's hard to keep up with the craziness. Like if it's daily, and once it comes, it goes. It's wild.
Yeah,
It's the Wild
man.
West.
It's worse than the Wild West.
It is.
It's the untamed continent of I don't know what. Crazy town, man. It's oh man,
Yeah.
because gosh, it just
We'll be okay though, brother.
no, I
We'll get
think
through
so
it.
too. I think so
Hopefully.
too.
Hopefully. The thing at the moment, obviously, in like in our world, is that there's different ideas of what is happening right now.
Yeah.
And it's of course, there's going to be like friction, and you know, some people are saying this is all demons. Some people are saying
Oh yeah.
this is all love and light, and there's obviously a mixture of everything going on. I would say,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and
For me, it's I don't know. I'm Catholic. That's
Mhm,
how I was brought up,
mhm.
and one of the things that surprised me is the Vatican actually released something about 5, 6 years ago and said, "Yeah, here's what we suppose if aliens are real. And if you know anything about the Vatican, they have their secrets too. They could probably, you know, outbeat pretty much everyone in the world, including the U.S. for secrets." and the
Yeah.
UK, because the UK's got their share too.
Hmm.
But
Absolutely.
but I mean, they have secrets going back way back. So, and they got the Vatican Vault and all that fun stuff. But one of the things they actually said was that if aliens are out there, they're beings just like that. And they said it with such authority, such knowledge, which made me think, oh, they know something. They're beings like us. They're flesh and blood, and they're just more advanced than we are. But they're still God's creation, which gave me a little bit of peace. But at the same time, I said, well, how do you know about what's out there? You start
Hmm.
asking the questions. And then there's the other side of that, which I don't necessarily, which I actually full on do not subscribe to, that even though some of these experiences and experiencers see things come, craft and creatures and entities or whatever it is you want to call them come from another dimension. To call them demons is, I think, way premature. I don't see that level of mechanization for a spiritual creature. I
Hmm.
mean, given what we learned from Bob Lazar, from others deep into the whole UFO thing, where these things were made of metal. Yeah, they were kind of intelligent metal. We have that now. Just barely got it, but we have it. I think our new fighter here in the U.S. has it. And I think UK's sixth or seventh generation fighters have it too. But
Hmm.
it can actually seal and actually change the plane of the wing to make things go a little faster or slower.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, and there's memory metal. We've had memory metal. My glasses have memory metal. I mean,
Hmm.
so
Hmm.
that technology is definitely derived from a mechanical and a metallurgical and a what's that called? Micro something something discipline. I was on a roll there. Then I lost the words.
I do that every day, brother. Don't worry about that. I'd love to get into the Vatican and see what they got in there, man.
Oh, that'd be fun. I
Into the
can't wait for
vault.
that release.
Oh, they need to do that. I think it's about time.
Oh,
Come
that'd be
on.
fantastic.
Some people say
Absolutely.
there's bodies. I mean, obviously it's all speculation, but some people say there's like alien bodies in there and stuff like that. I mean, that would be obviously pretty wild.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? But let us go in. Let's have a look, man.
Oh yeah, that'd be fantastic. I'd love to see what they have, just to see it, and
Mm, mm,
that'd be fantastic. I'm sure they can have all kinds of cool stuff down there. But yeah, not
absolutely.
only alien bodies, I heard they have ships down there of their own that they recovered. And I mean, from a long time ago, because ancient Rome was reporting UFOs like every other day. There was, they called them beams, and I don't mean laser beams, I mean like steel girder beams kind of a deal. Shooting up, that's how they described them. Shooting up, just erupting out of the ground and shooting up in the middle of a city. Like it would just like a missile system or something like that. Like they couldn't describe it, so they called them beams, but apparently they actually looked like I beams,
Hmm.
like you would use in old building structures.
Interesting.
And
Interesting.
so, and they also had orbs, so beams and orbs,
Hmm. Hmm.
which is crazy. I mean, back in Roman times too.
Yeah. So this stuff has always been there, man. There's
It's
obviously the old
always been there.
paintings, and it looks like in the background there's like the shape of a UFO in the
Yeah,
background.
yeah, yeah.
You know,
Yeah, they had to hide it. It's like this is a giant religious icon, but really, look at that little UFO thing right there. I mean,
absolutely. It's always been there. It's
uh,
always been there. It's
yeah,
like cryptids and things like that. That they've always been in our history recorded. There
yeah,
might be like different names for these things, and they describe them differently, but it's the same stuff. Ultimately, it's all the same, And we've
yeah,
had this stuff going on for hundreds and hundreds of years.
yeah.
That blows my mind as well. This is not new, this stuff.
I think the biggest thing that was kept that was not kept secret, or maybe was kept secret, but it was a weird, stupid secret. It was giants.
Hmm.
Okay.
I love giants. I love
giants that's a great topic right there. I mean, I can go on about giants all the time. There's the guy in, where was that, like, not
Kandahar. The giant at Kandahar.
Oh, the Kandahar giant. Yeah, all the different military. Your military, my military. They all saw it.
The red-headed giant.
Different occasions. Sometimes there's whole tribes of them hanging out with the other guys.
See that? I love those stories, man.
Those are great. Yeah. My buddy's working on a film about that.
Really? Oh, let's go.
Yeah, I'm all about that too. I'm excited to do that one. That'll be fun. But but giants, I mean, there's the bones in Tennessee that were, I mean, the Smithsonian verified everything in like one news article and then retracted it and disappeared all the evidence.
Yeah.
Like the following week.
Happen? Yeah.
That's strange. And I don't know why they wouldn't want us to know about it. And then there's the finding in Turkey where they found definitively a human bone. I think it's this bone right here in my hand, right? This first knuckle, or maybe this one. I can't remember. But it is this big.
Whoa.
And it was found in Turkey, and they were digging where Legend and a few other, articles said Moses was buried.
Interesting.
So that might explain why the ship was so big. I mean, if you're going to follow that entire story and say he took in 2 by 2, you'd have to cover a lot of ground. And being a giant, you could do it.
Yeah, absolutely. And if that bone is that size, man, the hand's going to be as big as a car, right?
Oh, exactly. It's going to be as big as my desk here. So
Ooh.
I mean, probably about my height. I'm 6 foot. So,
yeah. I mean, that's a giant. I mean, that's a giant. I know we've got tall people now, and we talk about 8 foot, 9 foot, pretty big.
Pretty big.
That's a giant.
That's a giant. And there's the guy, I think he's in the UK. He's got 2 or 3 or 4 fossils. One of them is a baby toe of a giant that had its toe cut off. And it's solid, it's stone, it's petrified now, but it's still intact. It's not a bone. The flesh is there. And said, what happens when you cut off a limb? Skin flaps over on the chopped off part, and sure enough, there's a flap of skin there. And here's where the nail bed is, and sure enough, there's a nail bed. And he turns it over. He says, and all the blood will rest on the bottom, and on the bottom of this stony big old toe is all this black stuff where the blood also had petrified, and that's where the blood settled. It was amazing.
Wow. What part of the UK? Also, do you know what part of the UK that was?
I do not. I wonder if it's in my little archive here. God, I do keep an archive of all this weird stuff.
That's wild, though, man.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Let's see, paranormal evidence. And he's also got a tooth, and it's this tooth right next to the main front teeth. Here is that little tooth.
Yeah.
And in between the canine and it's that tooth right there. Zoom in here. That tooth right there. And he's got it, and he holds it like this. It's like it's insane. I wonder if I could find it.
Giants have been in like the folklore for, again, hundreds of years. Near where I live in Dorset, there is like the shape of a giant carved in like the hillside. You can see it. I can't remember what it's called. It's like the Dorset giant. If you type in Dorset giant, you'll see it. And that's been there for over 2,000 years. This carving. I mean, these things.
Giant. Okay.
Dorset giant. Sorry to put you on the spot there, man.
Oh, it's okay. That's what the internet's for, man. CERN Abbas giant?
Yeah, that might be it. It's like a big white, and he's got a big, I won't say what it is, but he's got a big weapon, we'll say.
Oh, it's a sand carving? Is that Yeah, the rude man.
That's it. It's pretty rude. Whoever did it was, I don't know why they've done that, but And apparently that's 2,000 years old.
Yeah, it's on a hillside
Correct.
too, so you can't miss it.
That's right near where I live. There's a giant man.
They call him the Rude. Yeah, his nickname's the Rude Man. Yeah, I don't know if I can show that on my show.
Yeah, you better not. You might get banned. Yeah, you better not. That's for the freaky. That is freaky. That is very freaky.
I might put that on my Substack or something, so everyone can check that out. Check out the Rude Man. But there was another one in Ireland, like very early 20th century Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
There was a king, and his skeleton was there, and he was in his tomb. But they opened the tomb, and you could do a tour around it. And this guy was literally a giant. He was like 15 feet tall or long, and he's sitting there, and he's got his crown and his sword or stick or something. He had something there, and he was 15 foot long. He was huge, and he was there for a long time. I mean, just as a tourist attraction. And I think around World War I, they wrapped him up and shipped him off and never replaced him.
Wow.
And they just,
I mean, there seems to be a period where there were giants. I mean, I know there are still some very tall people now. If you watch the NBA, there's some very tall people still out there. But there seems to be a period of time where there was like giants and people seem to live hundreds of years. That's another thing. That's another thing as well.
They were saying they were living. I mean, again, I have to go back to the Bible for that reference because they do mention that in the book. They say, what's his name lasted for 950 years. What's his name lived for 750 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was no big whoop to last that long.
What happened?
I mean, and, what happened indeed. And apparently, and I heard something, it's kind of one of those, again, we're in a conspiratorial and or, I don't know, ancient alien space kind of a thing when I talk about this, but they say that there was an age where mankind was allowed to last as long as the perceived gods. I mean, like the Anunnaki and all those guys, so they can serve them for a long time. But then it was after the flood ish, like around that time, when mankind reemerged, their DNA was changed to only last max 120. So you can max out at 120. But that's weird. And I forget who put that out there too. I wish I had that on record, on instant recall. I mean,
there's so much about our history that we don't really know.
I know, it's
obviously, but I mean, ancient Egypt, obviously Stonehenge, which is just down the road from me.
Right? Yeah, you're right there.
So much.
Also, where Salisbury steak was invented.
What's that? What was it?
It's also where Salisbury steak was invented.
Yeah.
I'm teasing. That's a stupid joke.
But there's so much that we just don't know. There's so much. A lot of the pieces we're trying to put together.
What about the petrified life forms that they're finding? And they're saying, yeah, these aren't museum pieces. These are petrified skeletons of these things that were like flash fried in place. And I know, and I don't know how far it stretches, but it's literally half of the earth has this black ribbon across it in the geological record. And it's where a solar flare hit the planet and fricasseed everything.
Whoa.
And it would flash fry a lot of things like that, and they'd probably burn off, turn to stone, all that fun stuff. But it's what we know about our history at that level too, at the geological level, is just so minimal, and we barely touch the surface.
Absolutely. Well, let's face it, we don't know a lot about our ocean. There's so much we don't know about our ocean right now. There's places we've not been to in the, space. We've got no idea really where we are.
Yeah.
That kind of blows my mind. I know we're going out there, but I mean, what did I read the other day? You know, they were saying that we're inside possibly a black hole or something like that. You'll know more about this, Tim, than me. But there was,
Oh, you mean the galaxy, black hole at the center of the galaxy? That type of
yes,
thing?
yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? I mean, that's
I
just
don't think it's a black hole. If it
okay.
is, we're caught in the accretion disk and we're just sitting in time. Our time is passing weird for us compared to everyone else out there, everyone else beyond it. But I don't think there's a black hole at the middle. I think that's just the spin of the cast off because galaxies start as nebula and star matter cast off, and then they're spinning usually, and they'll either burn out or they'll burn bright, and they'll start attracting more debris and stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Realistically, to say that there's a black hole at the center of our hole, it would mean our destruction, and it would happen either super super slow or super super fast. So I don't really
Right.
adhere to that personally.
Yeah. I hope that's not true then.
No, I don't think it is. I really don't. I really don't.
But that's the thing. There's so much we just don't know. Um,
Yeah.
it's wild. It's wild.
It's incredible, is what it is, and it just goes. I mean, everything just goes off on weird little tangents, and you can actually draw lines back to where certain legends started. There's there was I forget who did it now. Need my memory, but there was a guy where he said, "Okay, I dove down the rabbit hole," as they say. It wasn't David. I wish it were, but a little plug
We
for
could,
down the rabbit hole with
yeah,
David
we
Disney.
could just call him up and get the answers.
We should. I should totally do that. I wish I knew. I wish I knew how to get a hold of him right now. But I totally do that. But someone else did this digging, and he said, "Well, if you look at this, and I forgot what it was. It was something like it was based on a painting. I think that's where he kind of started, and I want to say it's German or pre-German." And it's a cityscape of the bottom third of the painting, but above it is the sun with a face on it, like you'd expect back in the day. This is around 12th, 13th century painting. But in the skies overhead are all these plus signs and beams, like I mentioned before, and orbs interacting. And it says the Battle of the Skies or something like that. That's the translation of it.
Wow.
I wish I had that picture, but I don't.
Interesting, man.
But it is, and he went from there. He says, well, this is exactly what happened in India about 400, 500 years earlier when they drew a similar depiction of all of these, those big ship things they have called vandalas or something like that.
Hmm.
Were flying around, and there's explosions or something close to explosions dotting the air, and these vandalas are flying around trying to repel a force of one sort or another. Some sort of a sky battle was going on.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
I
crazy.
mean, we obviously, most people live in places where there's light pollution and we don't get to see the sky like, yeah, I'd love to have days where they just turn everything off and we get to see the sky in all its
There's been a
glory.
thing about that. Yeah, New
Because
York was looking to do that, and everyone said nope.
it'd be amazing just for an hour. I mean, I don't know if that would actually, I'm assuming it would work.
Apparently, it would disrupt people quite a bit. You
Yeah, I'm
shut down
sure
the
it
power
would. I'm sure it
because
would.
you kill the power. It's a matter of if the lights weren't connected to the main power,
Hmm.
and you can keep your security system on, for example.
Oh,
Different
I
story.
see. Yeah, I see.
Different story.
It sounds easy. It sounds easy, but
easy,
obviously
but
it's not.
yeah,
But
when
can
the
you
kid,
imagine what you would see? Can you imagine? Because we see a lot of weird stuff in the sky as it is,
yeah,
but I imagine you'd see a lot more. You'd see things like
sure.
maybe
Oh,
sky battles going on all the time.
oh
But we
yeah,
don't,
yeah, yeah. You,
you
if
know?
you up near me, there's Yosemite,
Hmm.
beautiful mountain preserve. There's also the beaches out here. Um, go to the beaches, look up, man. It's beautiful. It's amazing. You can see
Hmm.
the the arm of Orion and the swirl of the Sagittarian galaxy a little bit, which is our galaxy. It's like it's mostly absorbed into the Milky Way, but it's still a piece of it there. It's kind of reddish. It's really pretty.
Right.
It's really pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm coming over, man.
Oh, all you have to do is look up the same piece of sky.
Yeah, true.
I mean, your beaches are pretty cool. I mean, they're pretty close too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm right on the south coast.
Oh,
so I'm
okay.
right near some beaches. Yeah.
Excellent.
I live in Dorset. I'm right on the edge in Bournemouth.
Did you move recently? Not to dig into your personal business.
No, that's fine. No, I moved 4 years ago. Oh, just over 4 years ago now. So I moved, stayed here for a little bit before I started doing the podcast, and then So I've always done the podcast whilst here. I'm originally from London, from Essex / London.
Okay. I think I know where that is on the map.
I've not moved too far. It's only literally 2-3 hour drive back to London. So gotcha. I'm not that far away. Still,
yeah. Oh, completely off topic. Nothing to do with the paranormal. There's been a few. I won't call them expats, but a few from the UK who have moved here, and they've done travel logs, and they said, but when you say London is 2 hours away and you think that's far, no. Because 2 hours away is barely one city away here.
I know, and that's what a lot of the big difference is. In the UK, people will moan about driving 20 minutes.
Right.
They're like, I've got to drove 20 minutes. But then I talk to my friends in the US and they're like, oh, I drove 4 hours to work. I'm like, people just wouldn't do that in the UK.
Yeah. It would be. Yeah, man. That's a kicker. I always found that kind of fun. It's like, wow, yeah, from the tip of England proper, about where you are, to the northernmost point of Scotland would be what, a 3 or 4 hour drive?
Well, I googled this the other day because I was on a podcast and we were talking about this, and I said it would take about 12 hours to get to Scotland. That's what I thought, to the other side of Scotland. I know. What was it? Well, I can do it right now. I can see on my thing, but I think it's about 8. I think it's about 8 hours.
Okay.
Let me just have a look. If I type in Loch Ness, we'll go Loch Ness.
Okay, Loch Ness is pretty far.
You gotta go Loch Ness. So if I left right now from my house, it would take me 10 hours and 53 minutes to see Nessie. which is basically near the end of Scotland.
Right, it's right up there, yeah.
Yeah. So you can do the whole of the UK in half a day.
Yeah, half a day. That's not bad. Yeah, it's 6 hours from where I'm at to Los Angeles.
Really? Yeah. See, that's so weird. I think I was saying this to you and JK when we first started talking. I thought you guys were in Los Angeles.
Oh,
I thought that's where you lived. When I hear California, I just think Los Angeles.
Yeah, a lot of people do that, or San Francisco.
Yeah. But we forget it's so big, man.
It's huge. Well, it's one of the longer states. Yeah. It's about I think it's the same top to bottom length as Texas. I think. Don't quote me on that. But it's a long state, and that's what it is. It's a long state. It's not the biggest state in the world, but it's long.
I think you can fit 4 UKs or 4 Englands in Texas. I'm pretty sure. I think
it's more than that.
Is it more than that?
I think so. Because the UK is about the size of Maine, give or take.
Really?
Yeah, maybe New York proper, not the city, but the entire state, roughly, or Maine, something like that. And then so you probably put 5 or 6 of those in Texas.
Tiny. It's crazy. It's crazy. You've got room for me then. I'm coming over, man.
Oh, I got tons of room for you. Come on down. Bring the family.
Because that is the goal. I'd love to move to the US. I think that is the goal.
That is the goal, huh? Okay. Well, don't think you work for an international company, right? I mean, couldn't they just push you out here to work?
Maybe. And my wife's a school teacher, So she'll be coming.
She's hired. She could probably be a college professor.
Let's
the educational differential's insane.
But she teaches like primary, which is like little kids, the new kids, the early learners, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, that's what she does. But yeah, she loves it, man. So she could do that. She could do that anywhere.
Doing that here, no problem. Yeah. No problem at all. I can't find the giant guy, which is ticking me off. I've been looking for him this whole time.
But
I found him.
He's got it. He's got it.
So let me see here. Let me go. How am I going to do this? Okay, getting back to our giants discussion. Let me see if I can get the window right. Yeah, there he is. Okay, so I'm going to share the guy, and hopefully this comes up. I may have to push this through So here's hoping this works. I got to put the microphone in the screen, but here you go. This is the guy talking about the toe. Oh, hold on. I think I muted it. I didn't mute it. Hold on, just a sec. There's all these people with their comments. I hate these guys. Let's see. Pro speakers.
We don't listen to the comments or worry about the comments.
The comments are funny. Yeah, there's a lot of disbelievers on here. It's just really insane.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Why isn't it going through? What am I doing wrong? Huh.
So he's talking about the toe. Is that the tooth? Oh, that's the toe.
No, that's the toe, yeah. So he's got, see, there's a little flap of skin he was talking about right there. And it got chopped off. Do I have him muted? Oh, okay, it's my fault. I have him muted.
Drains to the bottom.
There we go.
Okay, well, let me back it up then.
And there is your pooled black blood collected at the bottom of this front part of a small toe of a giant. How do I know that this is the front part of a small toe of a giant? Watch some other videos.
Watch my other videos.
So if a tooth of a giant on display is not enough, here we have the front part of a small toe of a giant.
Sorry, there's a mosquito here.
It's been cut off. Here you see the veins and arteries under the nail.
Mm-hmm.
There you see the beautiful side view, the curvature, that bottom part, like that bottom part of your finger there, the puffy part. There you can see the bone sticking out and some of the flesh or skin that flopped over once it was chopped off.
Okay.
And what happens to the blood when you chop off a finger? The blood drains to the bottom. And when blood turns to stone, it goes black. And there is your pooled black blood collected at the bottom of this front part of a small toe of a giant.
So, yeah, that's it. He's also got a tooth, but finding that might be problematic.
Man.
But if I can, I will. But I mean, that's just one piece of evidence. And there's one in I'm going to say Patagonia, but I'm completely wrong about that. Maybe it's the Philippines. But there's a dude where they unearthed another giant, and there's a guy about my height. He's 6 foot, and he's standing next to the femur bone of a giant, and it's way. It's easily an 8-foot bone, That's the femur. Man. Imagine how tall that thing was. I mean, just crazy.
There is so many. I think there is so many documents and old paper clippings of giants being reported all over North America. There's so many, and they're dated 18th, 17th century. They've been reported for forever. And obviously the Smithsonians get hold of this, and they're gone. We don't know where they put it. We don't know what they do with it, and why
in the basement.
They don't want us to know, but they don't.
Yeah, I don't know why you would hide that. That makes zero sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it'll show up in the alien files. We don't know.
Yeah,
maybe
because as we say, it's in biblical text.
Yeah, it's in biblical text. It's in other tribes and stuff like that. Their stories and texts.
Yeah, it's in every culture. Giants are in every culture. Mm-hmm. It's weird, man. So I don't know why.
It's really strange. It really is. And hiding it is just bizarre to me. I
Yeah.
don't get it.
I think they were dragons as well, bro. I know. I really do. I think they're just dragons. I think they were real at some point, or
Well,
maybe still are.
there was someone arguing that point online somewhere. I'm sorry, I don't remember where, but
probably me.
he was he. But this guy says, well, okay, they keep saying our dinosaur bones are fake. That's a new thing right now. Our dinosaur bones are all fake. And they are. They're resin copies of what's been found, but I've been to, Utah where they dig these things up. They're real. Okay. But they're giant lizards. What are dinosaurs? Giant lizards. What are dragons? Giant lizards. So I'm thinking there's a crossover. There's definitely a parallel there. Whether they breathe fire or not, I couldn't even, probably not, but maybe they did. Who knows? I mean, there's certain creatures that can produce not a spark, but like a piezoelectrical, like electric eels and stuff like that. They can generate that type of thing. Maybe there was a land version of that at one point too, and I think there is like a lizard that can do that. Even today. But
giants appear obviously in Chinese culture and in the culture all over the world,
and literally.
The patron saint of the UK, St. George, killed a giant. He slayed a giant. That's why he's the man, So it's and what else is what I find so interesting in the old encyclopedias, like going back, under the name dragon, it said like rare creature. Not that it's mythical, not that it's made up. I know, take of this what you will, but it says rare creature and describes a dragon. And obviously now it says mythical creature, but I think maybe there's something to it, man.
Yeah, I think it gives you pause, doesn't it? It makes you go, huh?
Game of Thrones is real. Yeah.
It has to be to one degree or another, in my personal estimation, only because we already have evidence of creatures that are similar, very similar. The dinosaurs and stuff like that. Like humans, we have very tall humans in the NBA, as you pointed out, and taller. And I don't know if you watch Reacher or not, but there was that really big dude who was on there in the last season. He's a Swedish fella, I think. And he is like 7'4" or something like that. Yeah. He's up there.
Like a living giant.
He doesn't have gigantism, which is that weird pituitary growth thing. No, he's literally that big, just by nature, and it's in his family. So, so it's entirely possible.
What's the guy in Game of Thrones that's got it? He's really big. Oh, I forgot his name. But there's a character in Game of Thrones which is massive.
The Mountain.
That's it. And he's a real dude. Like
he's a real dude. He's huge. Yeah,
he's really that big. So we're out there, man.
Yeah, but same thing. I mean, those two dudes they're not the only ones, especially up in the north. I mean, they're kind of tall up there, man. Anyway, but it doesn't even matter about that because look at all the tall people in our sports and stuff like that. But so it's just a matter of having, not having, but taking into account what's here today and what was probably present in the past. I mean, like you said, biblical accounts. We look at Goliath. A lot of people say he was one of the last Nephilim. Whether that's the case or not, I couldn't even begin to speak to it. But that's an interesting theory if you want to follow that entire Enochian philosophy. That makes sense.
Yeah,
it could have been. And then again, you just mentioned it not too long ago. We had the Kandahar giants. Modern day creatures that big, humanoid, captured not only on film, but on tape rather, but eyewitnessed by major militaries, very, very, highly regarded individuals in the military saying,
Absolutely.
yeah, they're there. And they're, these tribesmen, or I guess I forget who, were up there near the hills in Kandahar. But,
and there's a lot of these things reported,
it's huge. Yeah, it's surprisingly common,
Mhm.
especially in those regions. And yeah, they stick to those areas, but okay.
Yeah.
So, and I guess it is going. Oh, and then there's the U.S. account, the U.S. military account of a dead one. Did you hear about this? You probably did.
No, I haven't. What is
Okay,
that?
so they find this dead one, this dead giant, and when it shows up on the back of a huge flatbed, because this thing's like 12 foot long, under a tarp, right? But it's clearly got some human features. There's a hand poking out. There's a foot poking out. And it looked like it had dressed itself in old tarps and large, linens that it had either crudely stitched together or that it had just kind of wrapped itself around just to make some sort of minor clothing of some sort or another. I guess for basic protection of the cold. But it also had skins of some sort. I want to say goat, maybe even yak. I don't know if they got yak out in Kandahar, but they might. But it had like some skins as part of its clothing, and which makes sense. It gets really cold out there. But so they're on a flatbed. They roll this thing out, and when they do, they have to put it on a smaller pallet so it'll fit on the jet, the cargo jet they're going to fly it out on. So a few guys are in charge of putting this thing like on a smaller pallet. So they try and move it. They get it into the fetal position, basically, recover it with the tarp, but it's so awkwardly perched on this pallet that parts of this thing are just kind of flopping out in center. But they said this thing had reddish hair. Kind of looked like you, Tommy.
Yeah, I could be a giant.
It could be a
I mean,
giant.
I'm about 5'9", 5'8", 5'9", so I've got a bit.
On your tippy toes, you're good.
I'm a small one. I'm a small giant.
But yeah, they said he had long, scraggly, reddish hair, a beard. He looked a little emaciated, probably from being dead a while. But he was huge, 12 foot long. That's a big dude. Even basketball players aren't 12 foot long.
Absolutely. I saw a picture of this actually. As you described it, I've seen a drawing of this.
Yeah, they did a rendering of it. Yeah,
absolutely.
And so they finally and these guys are taking pictures. They lifting the tarp. Doing selfies with it. All their phones got confiscated. They got in so much trouble.
We'll take them away.
That's mine. That's mine. Knock it off. You know better. Get this thing on the plane. Okay. Sir, yes, sir. And so they lift this thing up on this big Hercules and off it flies.
Wow.
I never saw it again. Probably went to the Smithsonian.
It's in the Vatican right now.
Right. It's there right now. Oh my God.
It's wild, man.
Yeah. I mean, so yeah, they're definitely out there. They have to be out there. Too many people have said they're out there to be wrong. And from all walks of life. Never mind, like you said, from across the globe. So good times. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take a little break. It'll be about 2 minutes. This is for some station identification and a couple of commercials. We'll see you in just a little bit. This is the United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM in New Orleans and 105.3 in the Gulf Coast. UPRN talkradio.com. Esoteric programming at its finest.
Long ago in the ancient world, the Tribus Omnis Lux, later known as the Tridents, were celebrated heroes, defenders of humanity against unspeakable monsters. Today, they continue that sacred duty in secret, hunting the dark evils that lurk just beyond the shadows. They are the Trident of Light.
Introducing Story TV, enabling true creative freedom for independent creators. Search an ever-growing library of fantastic festival winners, including Blaney Tucker's Ghost and the Monster Hunters of the TOL. Free to enjoy at lower resolutions. Pay $5 per month for 1080 and full K presentations to support the artists you enjoy. Your monthly contribution actually goes to the filmmakers themselves. Support independent film. Support Story TV. Check out our Patreon. Get deeper behind-the-scenes insights. Also, tips into being a better paranormal investigator and other fascinating content. Follow us on Instagram at paranormal.insight. Stay informed on upcoming shows, see what paranormal trends we're following, and help us reach 50,000 followers by liking, following, and sharing. Don't forget to follow us on YouTube at paranormal_insight. Click the live tab to see our latest videos. And we're back. My name's Tim Sedano. That is Tommy Cullum. And we're here talking about everything under the sun paranormal. Tommy, I wanted to share another clip with you where these guys say they found a dragon. I think this is in India somewhere, but it's... you're going to be disappointed. I'm telling you right now. but it's still a fascinating look at what they did, because they tried real hard to make this a reality. So let me put this up here real quick. Okay, so this is supposedly a dragon.
Whoa, I've seen this one actually. Yeah.
Oh, have you? Okay. Let me mute it. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So.
Whoa.
Scales and feathers and all. This is
I
pretty
mean,
good. Yeah.
Free AI. I'm believing it, bro.
It's not AI. No, it's not AI.
It's not AI.
No, it's a prop from a film.
I mean, it looks good.
It's very well done. Yeah.
If you stumbled on that on the beach, you'd be like,
yeah.
bro,
Yeah.
I just found a dragon.
I just found, yeah, for sure. But I mean, there are a few things wrong with it, but yeah, it's a movie prop. And
Okay.
it's similar to the ones they had for Evolution, if you ever saw that movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Toward the end, all those dragon-like creatures start popping out.
It does look cool. It
looks
cool.
very cool, yeah. But I mean, we've seen other video and footage that leaves you guessing, and you go, really? I wonder. I don't have any of that footage, unfortunately. but I thought I'd share that.
That's a cool one, though, man.
Yeah, it is fun. But that was neat. There was another one here. I wish I could. Where is it? Oh, I'm trying. Okay, I can't find it right now. But yeah, crazy stuff in the world, and it's all. I mean, it's funny. A lot of conspiracy theorists and theories over the years have been proven right.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I think the
across
conspiracy
spectrum.
theories are up right now. You know, you know, I mean, not every conspiracy we know, not every conspiracy theory is correct. You know, there's a lot out there a lot out there, as we know, but a lot of what people say and a lot of it does come to fruition. You know, I think, especially in the last few years, we're kind of seeing it. You know, since the craziness of 2020, you know, it's sort of. I don't think it's ever got normal, really.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment. Normal has gone out the window, and it's just getting weirder. I mean, they're saying in the next few months, it's going to be not only disclosure world, but it'll be. I mean, some people are thinking that it's going to be basically Star Wars inside of 6 months. You know.
I mean, that's
or Star Trek. I mean, pick your franchise, but aliens walk around humans every other day, and okay.
Yeah. I mean, and then you've got the Project Bluebeam, which is another conspiracy that's obviously been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Which people say that we are going to get shown a mothership, or shown something like that, and it's going to be
a more biblical reference to it, and they'll show angels and stuff, and so it's well, did you see the weird test? I don't know where this is from. It looked a little made up, but at the same time it didn't. It was a cloudy day, or cloudy evening anyway, and it was not here. It was not in an English-speaking world. It was somewhere in, like, I want to say Chile, but somewhere like that, somewhere kind of remote-ish. And they're looking at the sky. Like, what is that? What is that? And you can tell it's an AI translation because it's a little behind, and they kept the actual words, spoken language, like on the track underneath. But there's the translation. I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? It looks like a grid. And sure enough, in the sky, they're projecting a grid. Here, let me use my battery. So, okay, so you can see, I can see my battery kind of at that angle. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just imagine this wasn't filled in. It was just the outline of the box. Okay. And then in a grid fashion across the sky. And it was a bright blue. I gotta clip all these things into my paranormal folder here. I just wasn't impressed by it at all.
No. It makes you wonder, now that obviously disclosures come out as we speak. These files have come out. They're giving us more and more. It makes you wonder if there is going to be some sort of, are we going to start seeing more? And is it going to be, our government playing with us, or the powers that be? I don't know. I know it's another conspiracy route to go down.
I think one thing that is kind of, I don't think we're going to see Project Bluebeam, to be honest. At least not on a huge scale. Maybe selectively, but we know about it already. Enough of us in the world are going to say fake Project Bluebeam and just knock it down. Mm-hmm. And our even with through DARPA stuff, I don't think our holographic capabilities are really, that heavy duty Star Trek level. Even though a lot of whistleblowers say if it's on Star Trek, we've had it for 60 years. Well, okay, I find that very hard to believe, but I mean, not very hard to believe, but you'd think there'd be more of a leak. Because the internet itself, this thing we're using right now, was supposed to be strictly for the government. What, 30, 40 years ago? Yeah. Strictly for the government. Yeah. And then one guy said, nope, it's for everybody, and hit a button, and there it was. So I imagine that would be happening more and more and more if we had these technologies that we dream up more at the ready. I think, if anything, and this is just my personal speculation, pardon me. We're probably about maybe 100 years ahead of where everyone thinks we are, technologically speaking. I think we have rudimentary versions of, deflector shields and warp drive and stuff like that. And that's the secret space program and all that fun stuff in that conspiracy folder. And then there's, the giants and the Bigfoot and all the other cryptids out there. I think there's definitely something there. I've interviewed, I had, and of course I blank on the one most famous Bigfoot people in the world.
You had Ron Moorhead on? Right? Ron
Moorhead, thank you, sir.
Yes.
Appreciate that.
I saw that, brother.
Yeah. So I had him on, and, all of his stuff is really hard to dispute. Really hard to dispute. And granted, it's a bunch of recordings, but I mean, you can, in that recording, you can tell its language. Going back and forth. And I went through and I did my own research before that interview. I was so into it. And I'm no crypto communications guy like Sam, what's his name, who was also a part of that team. Excuse me. But there was hints of Miwok. There was hints of even Algonquin, which is going way north of here, like up into Canada. Those tribes and starts with a Y. I'm sorry, my Native American brothers and sisters were failing on that name, but they were using those languages like in concert. It was like they were trying to identify who they were talking to.
Interesting. Yeah. And they couldn't, the pitch it was creating, no human can make that pitch. Is that right as well? So,
And at that volume. Yeah.
At that volume. So, I mean, when you put that together, and this was recorded, I believe, was it the 60s or 70s?
Very early 70s. On a little cassette recorder.
Yeah. So even harder then to, like, you know, if you was
really hard. I mean, you'd have to have ILM doing all your sound effects and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. It's very interesting. Ron Moore, I was lucky enough to have him on my podcast as well.
Oh, fantastic.
Awesome dude, man.
Yeah,
I was a little bit, because he's a name in the cryptid world, in the Bigfoot world, that is like, you know, at the top.
Yeah, he's a giant for sure. Yeah, in his own right.
Absolutely, man. A really cool guy.
Yeah. Did I give you his contact, or was that someone else?
You might have done that. I can't remember. You might have done.
So.
Yeah.
I love to think that.
I think you did. You did.
I like it.
But going back to what we were saying earlier about I've got another story about, and this happened to my mum. So going back when we were saying about like, aliens possibly being amongst us. So my mum, she's really into this kind of stuff now because of, she listens to Let's Get Freaky quite a lot, and now she's all in. Like she loves it, and she's always been interested in it, but now she's like into conspiracies and all sorts of stuff. Oh, good
for her. That's fantastic.
So she's But this would have been about, I'm going to say 20 years ago. Okay. She used to work in like a quite a nice woman's fashion shop where we used to live in Shenfield in Essex. And she said she was working one day and she was working with another lady. And this was quite a nice shop in Shenfield. So you'd get like, it was quite wealthy people used to go in there and do their shopping, buy dresses and stuff like that. So this lady came in and she said there was just something weird about this lady. Like she's a quite weird shape. There was just something, and she might just have been a weird shaped lady, right? But my mum said that there was like an electric smell when she came in, like a weird electric smell coming off this lady. And she's walking around the shop, and my mum's like asking if she wants help or anything, and she's like, no, it's fine. But my mum was like, this is a bit weird, you know, she's got this electric smell. She's a bit of a weird looking lady. And then she left. And the lady my mum was working with she was quite spiritual. And she was like, Sue, that lady was not from this earth. And my mum was like, yeah, no, I know. She was very strange. She was like, no, Sue. She was not, I'm telling you, she was from another place. She's an alien, right? And my mum was like, okay. And she kind of put this to the back of her mind, but she thought, yeah, she was strange. And then she like listened to Let's Get Freaky podcast and stuff, and she went back to that. And she was like, maybe that was an alien, you know, literally, like in the, yeah. Sorry, so that story just came back to my mind.
No worries. That's a great story. Did your mom specify how tall this woman was, or how big she was in general?
She said exactly how tall. I think she said she was quite tall, quite a weird shape. And people have weird shapes, you know, some of us. Yeah. But she said it was the electric smell that was like really weird. You know, who smells like electric? I mean, I can't really. It's weird. It's weird.
Like electricity, like burning, like electrical fire type of stuff, or
like an electrical burning smell. Weird. She described it as like an electrical smell. So I don't even fully know what that would be, you know. But I'm guessing like a heat, I would say. But weird, man.
Yeah, if you have wires frying somewhere, it has that kind of like, I don't know, bitter ozone kind of a taste to it or smell to it. Yeah.
So I know we're going back to aliens there, but I think they are among us.
No, that's okay. No, that's and she was super tall. You said.
I don't know if she was super tall. I think she was. I need to ask my mum that again, to be honest. But I think she said she was a weird shape. I think she said she was tall, not like 7 foot or anything like that. I don't think, but
Okay.
She basically said the smell was the really weird thing, and the fact that she was working with like a spiritual lady that, you know, was a little bit psychic and stuff like that, and you know,
Sure.
And she said she's an alien, and my mum at the time was like, oh, yeah, okay, maybe. And then she said years later when she listened to the podcast and we're talking about aliens amongst us and reptilians, my mum was like, yeah, maybe. But yeah, my family, we've had a lot of weird stuff.
That's pretty good.
We're very open
man.
to this kind of thing.
That's excellent. Is your place still haunted? You still seeing stuff in your house?
Yeah, I mean, I can't remember if we spoke about it last time I was on the podcast with you, but we was going through a spell in this house. Did I talk to you last time about that? Okay.
Well, I think it happened on the air because you said, "Hold on, my daughter just walked by," and then you call out for her, she's not there.
That happened when we was recording. Oh, bro.
I think so. Yeah.
There was a lot of weird stuff happening. There was a point where my wife actually said to me, "You need to stop doing this paranormal podcast." Like, and being genuine, like you need to stop. You need to stop talking about this stuff, and because we've invited something in, and that is how it felt for a little bit, for a good 3 months, I would say. It was weird, and there is still weird stuff happens sometimes. I think the paranormal's with us everywhere, all the time, and sometimes we get a glimpse. But this was getting a little bit negative. If you know, it wasn't good, and I was thinking it. My wife was thinking it. The kids were thinking it. You know, they were seeing things and getting scared at night and stuff, which I know kids do, but with what we do, we kind of take this stuff seriously.
Well, given your past, I would
absolutely. So it was worrying. It was worrying.
So, yeah.
So did I tell you about
a little bit?
Did I tell you about the night me and my wife were watching? There was a period where a lot of weird things were happening, but there was a night when me and my wife was watching a TV show. And it was like a Love Island type show, like a ladies show. You know,
okay, gotcha.
A love show, whatever. So we're watching this show.
Sure.
And whenever I tell this, I say it was last year. It wasn't. It was about 2 years ago this summer. This happened in August.
Okay.
And we're watching this show, and it sounds wild. It does sound wild, but we heard really loud, filled the room. Oh, like that, like a cartoon ghost, like it was so bizarre. And we looked at each other like, what the heck is that? And we stopped what we're watching. I've looked around the house just to see if it was anything, but you know, everyone was asleep. Sometimes my dog does make weird noises, but it wasn't him. This was like a really loud noise that filled the room. So we kind of rewound the TV show that we were watching. Played it again. This noise was nothing to do with the TV show. This was a separate thing. And honestly, it was like that. That was the moment my wife turned to me and said, "You've got to stop doing this paranormal podcast." And I was like, "No, I'm not going to stop doing the paranormal." But yeah, luckily it's calmed down. There has been some weird stuff like a few weeks ago, and this might just be my mind manifesting stuff, but it was weird. So I was in my kitchen. It was during the day. I was on my cell phone. I wasn't thinking anything. Well, I say I wasn't thinking anything paranormal. We're doing shows like this all the time, so it is in my mind. And I suddenly felt that someone was in my doorway. You know, when you just feel like you can feel someone there.
Sure.
And I kind of looked, and for like less than a second, it was like really quick. I saw someone. And they just vanished, and it was so quick. It was like I couldn't make out if it was a man or a woman. I saw color, but I couldn't tell you what color their hair was or anything. It was so quick, and I was like, my heart's beating really fast when I've seen this because I'm scared. But it was a very quick thing. Again, I don't know. That could just be your mind playing tricks. I'm not saying it definitely was something. I don't know what it was, but that was quite recent.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that's not cool. I
still
debunked. I thought I had something in my house too.
yeah. What was it?
Say again. I missed that.
What was it? What happened?
Oh, my glasses are kind of strong for me. I mean, for a lot of people, I have an astigmatism anyway. So I'm in the kitchen. I'm making something or another, and I turn, and I swear something goes counter to my turn as I look past, like it whips by the doorway in the house. So I say, "What the heck was that?" And I got to turn everything off, and I go to and I look around and I call out. No one's home. I knew no one was home. I said, hey, and then nothing. Walk the perimeter a little bit, and no, nothing there. Not getting any ooky feelings. So I go back to the kitchen and I turn everything back on and I start cooking. It was steam. A little bit of steam had hit the side of my glasses because it happened again exactly the same way.
Yeah, sometimes there's a logical explanation.
Yeah.
I used to
that's strange when you actually see an after image there, though. That speaks to something else.
It was very quick. Yeah. It was so quick. It was like, I don't know. Because I know sometimes I used to jump to the paranormal straight away. Because I have had a lot of paranormal experiences, as you know. A lot of weird stuff's happened. So, but not everything's paranormal. I'm trying to be more skeptical. I'm sure some of the things that have happened, there is logical explanations. Some things, definitely, like seeing William Shakespeare in my room. That there's no doubt in that. I mean, it wasn't William Shakespeare, I don't think, but you know what I'm saying. That man was there.
Yeah, I know. There's like that.
Undeniable things that have happened, but then sometimes, you do see things in the corner of your eye, and it's not always paranormal. Yeah. I hope.
True. Fingers crossed for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Excuse me. One of the did we ever talk about that? I think maybe we did. Maybe not. Oh, okay. Real quick, going back to when I have Jen and Mondo on last week, I asked them. The first thing I asked them is about the Miami Mall alien incident, and I don't know if you know about that. Do you know about that? Okay. So a lot of people put a lot of things up, and there's shaky videos, and some of them show these things walk around. They're about 8 foot tall. They shot that down quick. They said, nope, wasn't that at all. It was kids with fireworks. That was New Year's Eve, if you recall. And there's a big party there that the city throws. So when some kid starts firing off fireworks, Miami-Dade Metro is going to respond en masse and try to lock it all down. And that's exactly what happened. So according to the Jen and Mondo, the Miami Mall incident was just that. Kids with fireworks.
I found that strange.
That was a little disappointing. I'm not going to lie.
That is disappointing. But I still, because that story, when that took place, there was no videos of any kids causing trouble. And that's what I found weird. Because whenever anything like that happened, straight away, everyone's on their cell phone, everyone's recording it. And there was no videos of any disturbance, any kids fighting, any kids, throwing fireworks or anything like that. And I just remember that being quite strange at the time. But, they live there.
I agree. I think I said something, but I don't know. But they shot it down. I was a little disappointed.
Yeah, it would be nice. I mean, not nice. There was like 10 foot tall aliens, but yeah.
Still, it's weird. You want it to happen at the same time you don't.
Yeah. If that is real, we're
it's kind of
screwed.
crazy. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And then we were talking a little bit about the petrified people and animals and stuff across the globe. And someone did a little retrospective on it. Let me see if I can find it here. Oh yeah. This is really fascinating. I think it has some merit. At the same time, I don't know. I don't know. So let me play this for you real quick, and then we'll all right, here we go. Let's see. I got to bring the mic down again.
Higher beings petrified in sediment. Organs, skin, muscle tissue, some cellular structures still visible under microscope, discovered in mountains, cliffsides, deserts, often dismissed by mainstream science. But look again. Massive limbs, toes, ribs, eyelids sealed shut in stone, caves shaped like skulls, hills with bone marrow core, mountains with vertebrae. These aren't natural formations. These are corpses, buried, hardened, encoded in rock. And they all point to one thing. Something enormous died suddenly and was flash entombed in mud. How does living tissue turn to stone? Answer.
Stone are not petrified.
Someone said something there.
Usually takes eons, but under the right conditions. High frequency sun pressure saturated iron-rich sediment, and you get instant petrification. It's the same tech used to make artificial stone today. Except this happened on a global scale during the mud flood. Fossils aren't dead.
Okay, I'm going to pause it right there. This lady in the mountains here is a piece of art. The artist came forward and said, "Yep, I made that in Photoshop."
Really? Oh.
But yeah. It's disappointing, I know. More disappointing stuff. We're going to just debunk everything on this show. But they go on to say that these different frozen creatures, and the funny thing is, they actually have some. Look at that. That looks like brain tissue.
Whoa!
It looks like a crosscut of someone's brain, and that's what they would say. But they do bring up an interesting thing. Whereas, sorry, let me get rid of these guys here. Where let's go. They do say, okay, look, this looks like vertebrae. We've seen the frozen, the petrified animals deep in these forests that look like they were either put there at one point or another or died there maybe on site. And there's no denying that these are scales, that they're not carved. They're not hollowed out. They were not made by man. And they are just there as some sort of flash petrified animal, or in this case, person. And some of them you might notice are giants.
Yeah,
So
absolutely, man.
So it's I don't know. I find the whole thing really just, I'm 50-50 on it, because you can dismiss a lot of stuff, but at the same time, she makes some very interesting points that a lot of these things do look like cross sections of flesh or bone, or like that final image, the nervous system of a brain. Wow. I mean,
what do you think about
living on the backs of giants?
Literally. What do you think about the giant trees as well? The giant tree stumps that are found that are like,
oh sure, yeah. I
mean,
totally
so many
believe
well.
that super sequoias. Yeah, super sequoias. You notice they're all chopped off at the same level.
Yes.
Flat.
Yeah.
Virtually.
Yeah. Exactly. You know, how would that happen? Like naturally. You know?
Right. Well, there's exactly. And there's a biblical legend in the apocryphal texts that speaks to that. It was so, and I forget which book, but it was so the Nephilim couldn't hide from the flood. So they chopped down all these super sequoias, so the Nephilim couldn't escape the flood.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Interesting. Yeah, man.
To be able to find that in the apocryphal texts, which are half destroyed. I mean, we're talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls and stuff like that. So it's they really dug up a lot of information through those things.
Yeah,
But
man,
that's the reason for it. Like it was like an order from someone, God, Anunnaki, we don't know. We don't know. Not really. That's not empirically speaking. Yeah, but I mean they're all flattened. That's a stump, just like you would make today with a saw.
Do we know
But,
if scientists have a logical explanation for that?
Not to my knowledge. Not to my knowledge. I mean, you could say that certain things degrade to a finite point and then they stop degradation because they're so compressed into that thing, but that doesn't explain the cut. It also doesn't explain that the rings that are still present in a lot of these things. Devil's Tower has rings. That's in Wyoming. That's where they did the Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And so that thing, the Devil's Tower, is a tree. Just look at it. It's not that hard to discern. It's definitely a tree stump. Yeah. And there's others throughout not only the Colorado desert and most of the Midwest where there are those formations, rock, they call them rock formations. But I mean, it's obvious. It's just plain obvious if you looked at it, and it took a helicopter view of the Devil's Tower specifically to really say, oh my God, it is a tree. Holy, absolutely. I didn't know that,
Yeah, it's wild. So there wasn't just giant people, there was giant trees. Everything was perhaps on a larger scale.
Super fun. Absolutely. I mean, look at where, we're going to go back to dinosaurs / dragons. I mean, they were huge creatures living in their trees were as big as, way bigger. I'm sure there was tons of superflora around. So I wouldn't be surprised by that at all. But I mean, just those remaining stumps across the globe. That's another thing. It's a global phenomenon. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It is, man. It is. And yet they still won't tell us. They still hide it. They still say it's not that,
I mean, yeah, and we have half an explanation from an apocryphal text from 300 years or for almost 2,000 years ago. That's we can only devote so much faith to it, and then also devote so much empirical belief in it. But at the same time, you have to. If you look at a larger swath of similar things, it does look like we were hit with a mass wave, a frequency of some sort. And that could also go to the that black band I was talking about, where a solar storm hit. Maybe it affected our magnetics in such a way it just fossilized everything in our heartbeat.
Yeah, absolutely. And this fits in with every religion. Every religion had this big event which kind of changed the world as we know it. Kind of reset us in a way. Like the Great Flood. The Great Flood happened in all different religions. So it's that's a global event too, across every culture. The Great Flood, and that's only the most recent calamity. The Hopi Indian out here, not out here, but Arizona area or New Mexico. I'm a horrible geographer. I got where they are at, but they have a tale going way back where they record 5 events, including the flood. And they even talk about one that was of Earth falling. That could be that flash petrification. There's one before that about fire, and that could be the solar flare.
And there's one before that, I think, was also is either water or ice, and that could relate to the Ice Age. And they have it documented on rocks, man. And they say that we survived all this because we went underground, thanks to, and this is where we get a little conspiratorial, a little more ancient alien. The ant people helped us.
Go. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So,
Which some people say look like the Greys.
Look like they also look like the mantises.
The mantises as well. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we saw that interview with the Native Americans, and they showed them. I can't remember where the who done the interview, but it was out there. So the guys doing the interview showed the Native Americans the picture of the grey alien, and they had a word for it, and they described it as living underground. That's and they'd never seen the grey alien. I don't know if you know what interview I'm talking about. It was a.
I think I do. It's an older interview.
Yeah. But they weren't aware of our concept of the Greys, and they were kind of saying, "Oh, they're the ant people, and they live underground." And so, it's an interesting. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
It's wild.
They, yeah, it's crazy. It really is. To have all these interactive, I mean, it's sparsely, networked. All this knowledge, I mean, it does play into when it's, into various things across the globe, across time. It gets a little hard to suss out sometimes, but I mean, if you take a logical step back and put these pieces together for yourself, you're going to probably come to the same conclusions. So
absolutely,
for me, I'm convinced. I mean, and they're not the only culture to go underground. The Hopi, there's that culture. What is that? Turkey? They got a whole city, something like 30,000 feet underground or something like that. I think maybe I'm over exaggerating that, but it's deep.
Yeah,
and they also had some sort of warning, some sort of forewarning, saying, "Yeah, bad things are about to happen. You might want to get underground." And I think they described them as, or called them, angels. I don't quote me on that because I could be wrong about that. But yeah, there's that, and there's a number of those cities in and around the Turkey area where they all go underground, like deep underground, like way, way, way underground. And so it's worth taking that into consideration as well. Also, we also just kind of have confirmed that that's a global experience as well for our ancients, no matter where they were in the globe.
Absolutely,
they escaped cataclysm.
Yeah, maybe that.
Underground. And then there's the other not petroglyphs. Stone structures. Like Petra in Jordan, the church there's all that is all, they got that all over the place too. Why would you build into the rock like that? It's cool. It makes sense. Like, it's literally cool too. You escape the heat, but I mean, the toiling and the skill to make that happen is, wow. I mean, you had to have some sort of foreknowledge of something going that will require you to build that into a rock base, it's just incredible.
Absolutely. What do you think
the church in Ethiopia too? That I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go, man. Sorry, man.
The church in Ethiopia, that is literally the roof of it is at ground level, and they sculpted it out of one piece of rock, like 50 to 60 feet down. For what reason, though? Why would you do that when you could just build on where it was? Flatten the rock out a little bit, that's easy enough to do. But no, they went down, and they're not the only ones to do that. India, they did that in India too. Something compelled them to do that. I mean, to take on that task, to build a monumentally fortified structure into the rock, not above the rock, into the rock.
Yeah.
It's amazing. I'm sorry. What were you going to say?
No, we've got this new theory in Egypt where they've kind of realized that maybe they dug down as well. You know, I know we don't know yet fully, but what are your thoughts on that?
Well, they did. I mean, they already have those that type of building.
And then they found one that goes lower than they thought. Is that right? That's 2 miles.
Are you talking about those 4 to 6 like spiral pillar things underneath the pyramid?
Yeah, they're not sure it's definitely. Okay. They're not sure it's definitely there, right? But they've some sort of technology.
Oh, it's there. No, there was they did ground penetrating LiDAR to paint that picture, that image. It's there. It's a real return. Yeah, that's not an image. It's not. Yeah, that's real stuff. And they said they even sent a probe down. And that thing, there's a spiral staircase built into each one of those tubes, and it goes down to a room. And it's like a mile or two down. I come on.
It's wild.
But they were doing that already in Egypt. It's wild. Like in Memphis, don't quote me on that. Memphis and along the Nile there, there's a series of underground tombs. So there's the main facade there. Ah, man, is this Memphis or is it somewhere else? Where they got the 4 kings or pharaohs sitting in chairs, and one or two of them are kind of crumbled down. And you go in, and you go down, and then you go down again, and then you kind of make a giant U-turn, and you're underground, and they have these vaults that go on for at least half a mile. And in there's these alcoves carved out of the rock, and there's these giant sarcophagi, and they pried one of them open. They had mummified bulls inside. I don't know why, but they had mummified bulls inside, like cows, bulls.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting, man.
I guess someone likes their beef in the afterlife. That's
yeah, absolutely. Egypt's one of the ones, man. I want the answers to that, because obviously we don't know. It's very possible that the Egyptians now stumbled upon these sighting these artifacts and carried on. I know that's controversial, but they found these pyramids and some of this stuff. I don't know, man, but it definitely doesn't seem to be the history that we're told doesn't seem to be what was. When you look at Egypt alone, it's so
right.
Yeah, I would love to know the answer.
Yeah, a lot of it doesn't track. Oh yeah, me too. Like there's the one guy, not the guy. I'm sorry. There's the quarry where they said they pulled up all, carved out all these stones and shipped them, like hand lifted them out of the quarry up over a couple of dunes and over miles. They dragged these stones into place. Some say, okay, here's what really happened. They had this quarry and they did chop out a square, but it was to measure how much of that powder, that rock you needed. They pulverized it, shipped it over there, and then turned it into a concrete, and then poured the foundation stones that way. So it wasn't they were carving out the blocks way over there. It was like they were measuring how much of that rock was required to fill in the mortar. Interesting.
Man,
and they say Stonehenge may have been built in a similar way because because some of the blocks are a little too uniform even for back then, whereas others aren't. So they're saying, well, maybe the technology, because it took like 30 million man hours to put that thing together. So 30 million man hours. I mean, even if you're going 16 hours a day,
that's a lot of time. That's a lot of time.
That's a lot of time.
Dreadful. But the thing is,
I imagine the block and tackle came into place.
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Uh,
But I mean,
but,
Stonehenge, we just don't know. We don't know what is underneath Stonehenge. I had Matt Pike on my show, who works at Stonehenge.
no, neat.
It's very interesting because he was kind of saying that underneath Stonehenge, it's like probably 10%, probably less than that, that's actually been researched and excavated, but properly. You know, there's so much under there that they don't know. And I think he was saying that they're waiting to use
Really?
technology. Yeah, they're waiting to use technology where they don't have to dig it up. You know, whether they, you know, I don't know what that technology is, but to be able to look without digging it up, basically, that's what they're waiting for. And there could be so much down there that we just don't. There could be a giant, you know, who knows? There could be anything down there.
Could be a completely different, or like that's the top end of a turret of a castle or something like that.
Absolutely.
Or some sort of research center there. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's
Because I always
pretty cool.
thought with Stonehenge that it's all been dug, it's all been researched. They know everything in that area, and I was very wrong about that because they don't know a lot at all.
Even to this day, they don't. That's pretty incredible.
Even to this day, they don't know. There could be anything under there. You know.
It's amazing.
So, and one of the rocks came from Scotland. That was another recent discovery.
Yeah, I read something about that. Freaking Scotland! Wow.
That's before it took 10 hours to drive there. So you know that was when it would take a while.
Good stuff. That's too funny. Yeah, that's
wild,
incredible. I didn't know that. It's just amazing. Just amazing. One place I want to visit is Stonehenge. So how about this? I'll visit you, then you come visit me.
Absolutely, anytime, bro. Come over, man. You can stay with me. We'll go Stonehenge. There's a lot of other weird stuff around here. We've got Corfe Castle just down the road, which is like a very over 1,000 years old. William the Conqueror was the founder, or you know. So and that's
Nice.
They claim that to be one of the most haunted castles in the UK. I don't know how they
that'd be
do
cool.
that, but they say it is. And there is a lot of weird stuff. A lot of woman in white that walks the castle. A night.
No kidding. You got a woman in white, huh? Wow.
Absolutely, yeah. And I had a guest, Mark Wyatt, on the show, who now lives in the US, but he used to live in the UK. And he was camping just outside Corfe Castle with his friends one night. And he said that he woke up during the night and there was the figure of like a knight in his tent. And when you look at like the legends, there is a knight that is meant to haunt the grounds around the castle. So he possibly saw that ghost. Very interesting, man.
Now, they have names for any of these guys that they know who they are in history?
I think they do. The woman in white is a prevalent part of the history of the castle. I can't remember her name, but she's a part of the history of the castle. And there was a reason why I believe she was beheaded for some reason or something like that, because they say she walks around headless, woman in white, which would be terrifying to see. But there is a feeling when you're there. I know when you're in an old castle or an old manor house, like obviously it's old, there's a lot of history there. But when you're in there, you can kind of feel that history, and I touch those walls and I'm like, man, the things this must have seen, it blows my mind.
Right.
The wars, all sorts.
Yeah.
A lot of shenanigans.
Whatever's. Yeah. Whatever's got trapped there, or like a after image got trapped there somehow. Yeah, especially in the walls. Oh man, we have this place out here called the Winchester Mystery House. I love that place. And it's a huge old mansion. It's a historical landmark. Thank God it was saved, because man, they were going to tear it down for apartments or something like that. Stupid.
Oh, that's the worst.
But anyway, it's all good now. It's a safe place. It's a historical landmark, and it's like 102 room mansion, up to 3 stories high. It was 4, but the earthquake in 1909 knocked it down to 3, and but it's gigantic. There's fake stairwells that go up to nothing. The floorboards. There's hidden passages throughout the place, and you can just really, just like you say, feel the history of things there. And I even caught a ghost there.
Did you?
That was fun.
Well, you saw it.
I did. Well, okay. I saw it. Yeah, I didn't catch it, but I saw his picture, and they said because they had the picture of the staff from back in the day, and he was there.
Whoa.
I wonder if I can share that with you before I go.
Yeah, that'd be cool, man.
Let me see if I can find it before time runs out.
Was it like a full-bodied apparition, or was it?
Yeah, he was just doing his thing. I think it may have been a loop, but he just kind of appeared to me. He was a worker, and he was just working a saw, and he kind of looked up and go, "Hey, how's it going?" And no words. I couldn't hear anything he was saying. And then he went back to sawing, and he just kind of evaporated. Yeah.
Wow, man. That's wild.
There he is. Yeah, that's good stuff. I'll share the photo. Everyone on this show who follows the show is going to go, "Oh God, he's telling that story again," but it's still fun.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
So this is the
I
guy
do that. I tell the
saw.
same stories all the time. They must be sick of it.
Yeah. So this is the guy I saw. That's exactly
You saw
what he looked
that dude?
like too. He had the
Wow,
mustache, the hat, the whole thing.
that's
That
incredible.
outfit was yeah. He was one of their woodworkers, one of their carpenters.
And he was just solid like me and you. Just like
He
if
was
you saw
sorry.
him in-
Yeah, he was working on something, and was in the right space too. Because we went through the one of our first stops inside the house is the old the mill that they used to keep the house maintained.
That's wild. It's wild that you've got an
there he
image of
is,
him
yeah.
as well, and you saw him like that. It's
Yeah.
incredible.
Well, it was a surprise to me because I snapped that photo. I'm surprised it came out as clear as it did because I was fumbling for the camera. It's like, yeah. I was so excited to see this guy. It was amazing.
Yeah.
That's
So
him.
you've got the
him.
image. You got the image of him.
Here, yeah. Now I was rolling video,
Okay.
and he didn't show up on video. He did not show up. Much to my chagrin, thank God there was a photo of the guy somewhere, and I was able to snap that instead. But imagine this guy with a half a smile looks up and goes, "Hey, how's it going?" Working a saw, an old saw, like those old band saws, where they had the wood handle, the wood bracket was way up here, and then the blade was down here, and you kind of held the edge of the frame and moved it back like an old saw. And apparently that was one of the tools they had up on the wall over there too. That was pretty cool.
It's interesting, man. It's interesting that you couldn't hear him as well.
No, I couldn't hear him. That's the second time that's happened to me too in my life. Because the stewardess from when I was like 3 or 4 or whatever it was, also could not hear her, and she was quite clearly yelling at me.
Wow.
Very upset with me for whatever reason.
Have I got time to share a
it's
story?
pretty
Have
cool.
I got time to share a story that my mum's friend had in France? And it's similar. It reminds
please.
me of what you're saying there. So my mum's friend, this is one of my mum's friends in France, and it happened when she was younger. So she's now a parapsychologist because this experience was so incredible for her. She kind of
Wow.
carried on researching it into her adulthood. But when she was a kid, she lived
Crazy.
in a little village in France, quite a small French village, but the graveyard was right next to her house. So where her house was, she literally had a graveyard right next door. And she said that in her bedroom at night, she would be laying in bed and people would walk through her room, literally walk through her room. She would see people come in one side and see him go out the other side. And this happened quite a few times. It was quite normal for her to see this. Always scared her, like she didn't like it. But she said one night she was laying there watching, and these people are walking through. And she said this one lady walked through, and she said she stopped at the foot of her bed, turned to her, and started trying to say something, like and trying to communicate. And I don't know if she could hear slightly what she was like. She could slightly hear voice come out, but she couldn't understand what she was saying. And this entity spirit was trying to say something, and she looked quite sad, and she was like trying to tell this girl something, and she kind of this spirit gave up and just like carried on walking through. I don't know if it was the next day or very close to that time. She was going through the graveyard with her family, and there was a new fresh grave, and she went up to the grave, and there was a picture of the girl that she saw in her room that night that tried to communicate with her. So they think that it's possible that wherever the house was, it was like some sort of portal, maybe. But this affected her so much, she carried on researching it into her adult life, and she doesn't have experiences now, apparently. So like she had these big experiences when she was a kid, but it kind of stopped at some point, and she doesn't see these things anymore. So I thought that was interesting that she couldn't actually hear what this lady was trying to say. So that's my mum's friend.
Yeah, that's been my problem too. That's awesome. That's a great story. Great way to finish too. Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Tim Sedano. This has been Paranormal Insight, and that over there is Tommy Cullum.
Thank you, brother.
Tommy, thank you so much for being on the show.
Pleasure.
All right, hang on for a second afterwards. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll see you next week on Paranormal Insight. As soon as I hit the button, I promise. If you have a paranormal experience that you would like to discuss on the show, please email us at paranormal.insight.podcast@gmail.com. That's paranormal.insight.podcast@gmail.com.